Beth Schimke, and I teach at Mica Mountain High School. For this year's Ed Tech presentations, I chose to give a presentation on tech tips for new teachers. In this presentation, you will see a bunch of easy to implement tips and tricks for new teachers or just teachers that aren't as familiar with tech and organization with their Google Suite and stuff like that. So let's get into it. First, our objectives. I'm starting with empowered learner and knowledge constructor. Both these standards fit in with this, as you and your students can use a lot of these tools to build your knowledge base and construct a lot of different knowledge through the organization and tech tips here. A couple things we're going to go through is Google Suite tips, a couple easy to use and helpful AI tools that might help shorten your prep time and can help you write quizzes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And also a cool tech feature called My Classroom Screen. In the presentation, there'll be opportunities for you to click on the slides and to go directly to the links that I'm showing you. And feel free to email me if you have any questions about any of these tech tips. My information will be at the end. So first of all, I built this slideshow in a Nearpod, which is a Google Slides extension and also an app that you can access on online, and it has different options to implement collaboration boards, group projects, questions, open-ended questions, polls, that type of stuff inside your Google Slides. And I'm going to show you how to add that extension to your Google Chrome. But this one has a collaborate board where if students are logged into the Nearpod, they can all collaborate and see each other's answers in real time. So in order to get Nearpod into your Google Slides, there's this graphic, which will kind of walk you through it, but I'm also going to show you if you're using the slideshow right now, you can click this link right here where it says here to go straight to Nearpod. I'm already logged in. You just need to make sure you have an account. And in order to do that, you can go to the website, click on the teachers and sign up for free, and it will allow you to do that. And then you can just sign in with Google once you have that done. But let's go back to Google Slides and show you, once you have your account, you can add the extension. So you just, on your menu bar up here, you go to extensions. I already have Nearpod added, and the district has added Nearpod as an extension that everyone can use, so you probably won't have to search for it, but if you need to, you can go to add-ons, get add-ons, and search for Nearpod in this menu here. Otherwise, you'll probably see it right down here, and you just go to Nearpod and click Open Nearpod, and it will open a menu bar on the right-hand side, and it'll allow you to edit your slideshows straight from Google Slides, and then you can save it and go to Nearpod, which will take you back to the Nearpod website, and then you can see I have the same slideshow here, Ed Tech Slides, and you can also edit here. You can do a preview, and then you can turn on your live participation. You can do a student paste, which is great for sub-plans, so you can create a whole slideshow, have students work through stuff, and then have them sign in as a student paste, and then it will give you analytics. You'll see who interacted with your slides, who answered the questions. It makes it a whole lot easier for grading. You can also access slides that have been uploaded to the school library, which is like your specific school, like mine is Mica Mountain, or the Vail Digital Learning Program, or the district library, which is Vail Unified School District. So you can see slides that other people have uploaded there. So Nearpod's really easy to implement. If you just follow this graphic, you just need to sign into your account, open it in the extensions menu, and then this will open up over here. You can choose any of these options to add to your slideshow. So you can see I already have added a collaborate board, which is my 5th slide here that we already looked at. And then when the slides are live, students get an option to type in based on the prompt that you give them, and then it gives them feedback. So we're going to move on from there. Another great free resource is called Classroom Screen. And Classroom Screen has a lot of amazing tools. You can also interact with this website right here by clicking the link. It'll take you straight to Classroom Screen. It's a free website where you can create basically like a background where you can do your bell work. You can do polls. You can have sound meters. So just log in with Google. It's pretty simple. There is a paid version of this, but the paid features aren't that great, so I wouldn't recommend it as it spools here for me. So when you get here, you're going to have your workspace. All you need to do is click Create New Screen, and then it'll give you a new collection. You can have as many screens as you want, and when you have one, it'll open like this. There's lots of cool things you can do. So the menu is down here on the bottom, and there's a lot of different widgets, that you can access. You can always change the background. I'm kind of a water scene person, so I'm always going to look for a beach theme. So I'll do that. Here you can add a text box where you can do period 1 through 6 bell work. And then you can always change the font, change the size, bold it, center it, however you want. And then when you click out, you can widen your box, make it bigger, click out, and then you can move it anywhere you want on your screen. I always like to move mine over here. It has a clock feature that has an analog clock and a digital, or if you drag it like that, it will make it just a digital clock. You can move that. I always like to have the calendar up. It always starts with a month calendar. If you drag it smaller, it just says today is the date. You could put that here. You can add a timer. So if you want kids to work for 10 minutes, you can always add this. Be like, no, I think 8 is enough, 7 is enough. And then you hit play, and it will count it down for you, and then it will ding if you have your sound up on your screen. You can have a decibel meter that will ding if you hit your max noise. Say, oh, I don't want that anymore. Get too loud. We're done with that activity. Hit the trash can and it'll delete those. You can always add stopwatch. It has a group maker where you can go back to your settings and you can add lists of kids, and then it'll randomize groups for you. It's a really cool feature. I use this all the time for interactive stuff, and if I want to do a countdown timer or if I want to play a YouTube video, you can just embed those really simply, and it's great for bell work, great for just something to have on the background while your kids are working on notes with some directions, etc. So that's one of my favorite tools just for organizing. It saves your screens from day to day, and then you can always update them. You can add more screens. Actually, since we're in here, at the bottom you have a little plus sign. You can just hit this plus here in the bottom right corner, and then it'll go to another screen. And so like if it's different for you from like period 1, 2, and 3 are the same, and 4, 5, and 6 are different, you can have different screens for different classes, which I think is really cool. All right, moving back into our content here. I have a couple Google Suite tips that are really easy and helpful for you to use. Number one is tab groups in Google. So I can show you very simply how to do that. If you're like me, you have a lot of tabs open all the time, and it's really confusing when you're in class and you're trying to go from content to content. Slide to slide, or tab to tab, like you want to show a picture here, or you want to have a PDF here of what a worksheet will look like, and then you have your slides. So something really simple for you to do is to group your tabs, and I'm going to show you on my browser that I use all the time. So I already have tab groups here. I have them labeled. They're really simple to add, and then you can collapse them down so it doesn't confuse you. So all you need to do is come onto your browser and click with 2 fingers on the tab you want to add to a group. And then you're going to get this menu, and it says add tab to group, and then you can add new group. And so I'm going to name this one Ed Tech, and then you can choose your color. So this one I want to be purple. And then you basically hit enter. and the purple line right here has the tab that's already in that group. So if I want to add this tab over here to the group, I can have an option to either drag it until it turns purple, or I want to add this one, you can 2-finger click over here, add tab to group, and then click the group that you want it to be in. And then when you don't want to see those tabs, so say this tab, we'll call this a new group, we'll call this 4th period. So you have a whole bunch of stuff that you want your 4th period to take a look at, and you don't want to see it all day. So you have your 4th period tab right here. This one's in your 4th period, and you just collapse it until you get to 4th period, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's 4th period. You can open that up, and all of your tabs for 4th period are right there. I like to, as you can see on my browser, have my administrative stuff, email, calendar, my drive. This is Power School, and Edmentum, which I have open all the time, are over here, but I don't need to see them all the time. I'm also in the middle of planning intercession, so I have a bunch of documents open for that, but I don't need those all the time, only during my independent work times. I teach grad lab classes, so I have 2 spreadsheets open for that. Alternative to suspension kids, I have those open, and then my Vic kids, I have those over here. And any tabs I want to add, I can just go into my drive, open something random. Here's a document, and I want that to be in my Vic tab group, so I just drag it, So I just open this up, drag it over, it turns purple, and great, it's always going to be there, and I can minimize it and use it as I need. So it's super helpful. Again, just remember the 2-finger click on your tab, you'll get add tab to group. You can always move tab to another window from here. You can add new tabs in different areas. If you want the tab to be out of the group, you can just click on your group tab and click ungroup, and none of them will be in a group anymore. Or you can close the group, which will close every tab in your group. You can move the group to a new window, which means like, oh, I want all my Vic tabs in a brand new window, and it will pop them out of this browser window and put them in a new one, so you can work on them that way. All right, let's move on to the next one. Another really simple feature for Google Suite is to use email templates. And this is something that I use almost every day. If you send emails that have very similar content all the time, this will save you tons of time and energy. You can write a form email, and then it will save in your email template. And then you can just pull that template up. So say you send a positive note home, it says something very similar, you just add the student name and then like a brief description of what they did. You can write the base email and then just add the pertinent details as you go and send them really quick. So let's go into that. So I'm going to come over here in my admin group and go to my email. And we're going to compose here. Actually, before we do that, we need to go to our settings. Settings, and you come over here and it says see all settings, and you're going to go to advanced settings. So again, when you're in your inbox, you just want to go to settings, and you get your quick settings over here, see all settings, and it's going to give you this menu. And there's lots of different things you can do from here. Just go to advanced, and you're going to see this templates option. I already have mine enabled. Yours is auto set to disable, so you need to click enable, scroll all the way down, and this save changes box will highlight, and you can hit save changes. I haven't made any changes, so I'm just going to hit cancel. And then we're going to come over here, create a new message. You just hit compose, create a new message, and you're going to hit these 3 dots down here at the bottom. And it will now have a template option. You can see that I have a whole bunch of templates already set. So in order to create a new template, all you need to do is on your email, say, this is a positive note home, and any text you want. The next thing you're going to want to make sure you do is delete your email signature, because the template will auto load that. Because it's an email coming from you. Oh my goodness. Of course, I'm struggling to delete that today. So now it's gone. So you're going to come down here to your dots. You have your subject also. You can put that in there. So positive note. This is my second one, so I'm going to call it positive note 2. Hit your 3 dots and go to your templates. And then you'll see I already have a positive note in here, but we're going to save this one and click Save Draft as Template. Now you can overwrite any template you already have or scroll down to the bottom where it'll say Save as New Template. Enter the template name. This is going to be positive note 2, and then it's saved. So you can hit delete on that. And then every time you want to write a positive note, you go to Compose, come down to Templates, or come down to your 3 dots, go to Templates, and then your template will appear in your list right here. And then your subject will already be there. You can see it already populated my signature. That's why you want to delete your signature out, because your email is set to always add a signature. So then it will add a double signature if you don't delete it. And then the text of your email will be right there. You can always do something like this, where I'll show you a little bit more complex template that I have. So if you're going to enroll or add a kid to an email and you want to send them a final exam approval, I teach for the VIC, so it says hi XXX, so you would just come in here and delete those out, and then hi Joe, congratulations on completing your English course. And then you can always highlight those so you know when to change them. But it's really simple to just add information. I send this email frequently at certain times of the year, and then you can edit, update all the content in there and save your template in an overwrite. So I've edited that and I wanted to save it. I could hit Save Draft as Template, final exam approval, wherever that is, and it'll overwrite that with all the content I just put in there if you have updates, or it'll always say Joe now because I typed Joe in there. So it's really simple. All right, let's go back and do our next Google Suite tip, which is Jamboard. And I'm a huge fan of Jamboard. Jamboard is a free Google Suite option that is great for collaboration. It's great for exit tickets. It's super easy to set up. If you have an iPad with a pencil, you can use Jamboard on your iPad and download what you do on the Jamboard into a PDF and upload notes or exit tickets with collaboration ideas or anything like that that students have done that you want them to have access to. You can always add that into Schoology. It works just like a Google Doc where you can share it with the kids, or you can give them an option to join as well. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. You're going to open a new tab and you'll have your Google here. You go to the tiles in the corner and you get all of your apps here. So if you scroll down, there's a whole bunch of other apps you can see that are already populated here, but Jamboard is kind of down here at the bottom. So you just click on Jamboard. I have a ton of Jamboard saved and I've already practiced with one here, so we'll just open it. It's really easy to use. This one, I decided to use the sticky note version. So on the left, you just click on the sticky note and write what you want. You can change the color, click save, and then it will automatically put it on your Jamboard. You can make it really big. The kids can rotate it however they want. You can hit the 3 dots and you can edit it. You can duplicate, you can delete it. You can send it in an order to the back, to the forward on your screen. And so it's super simple for kids to get on here. You just click share and you can send the link out just like you would a Google Doc. You can copy the link, put that straight into Schoology, and then just make sure they have edit access so they can do what you want them to do on the Jamboard. This is great for math if you teach math. You can, up here at the top, you can have multiple frames on your document. So you have a new frame here. We can set a background. So say you're working on graphing and you have an Apple Pencil. I don't right now, but you can draw your graph. I'm just doing this with my mouse. It's a little bit difficult. But then they can draw like slope or whatever. You can do problems on here. You can just click clear frame and everything will go away, or there's an eraser. So if you drew something, oh, that's a mistake, you can just come on and erase it. Super simple. But your sticky note options here, you can always add an image that you would want them to draw on or work with, maybe an anatomy project. You can add shapes in there. You can do text boxes. It has a laser pointer option. It's really awesome. But you can have multiple pages in one Jamboard, so you could do it per period. But again, all you have to do is click share, and then anyone with the link, or you can change that to just Vail School District. Make sure you send your link out and that the students are editors and they can just hop on there, and you can easy grading for exit tickets, put your name on here, and then they'll have access to, you'll have access to see what they did for their exit ticket. You can give them a simple grade if they sign in or put their name on their sticky note. All right, so that's it for Google Suite tips. And now I just have a couple AI tools that are really beneficial. The first one is great for differentiating texts for different learners. So you just click on this link here. It'll take you to Diffit. And Diffit has some really cool options. Over here, you can search for any topic that you want, or you can link an article that you want to differentiate for a student that doesn't read at grade level, or maybe an EL student that you have in your class, or you can upload any PDF of a text that you have. And then you choose the output that you want, what grade level. It goes all the way down to 2nd grade and all the way up to 11th grade or 11th grade plus. Another cool feature is I'm not logged in here, so let me log in and I'll show you. It will save the resources that you've already uploaded. So you can see I've uploaded a number of things, but let's go to this story, which is by Kate Chopin. It's a short story, all text, but I have a student in my class, let's say, and she's reading at an 8th grade level in a 10th grade class. So I can choose the 8th grade text level. I put the text in there. It gave me an adapted reading passage. If you're like, whoa, that's too short, you can adjust the length by giving it a short, medium, long, or you can make it original length and it'll just differentiate the text so it's easier to understand. You can make a copy of this. It'll go straight to a Google Doc. It'll give you a bullet point summary. It highlights vocabulary words. If you're like, whoa, it didn't use all the vocabulary words I wanted, you can add a vocabulary word. You can also, it has multiple choice questions, short answer questions. So this is great if you're working on analyzing text and you don't want to write your own questions. You can just pop it in here and it'll generate questions for you, some short answers, some open-ended prompts. You can add prompts, add questions. It'll show you answers based on the text. Remember, this is AI, so it may not be exactly what you're looking for, so make sure you check yourself. You can also show your sources, like where this came from, et cetera, et cetera. So Diffit is great if you have students in your class that are reading at different grade levels. I have a whole bunch of worksheets in here that I've already uploaded. But you can also search. Again, you can link an article. So say scientific journal article, you want that in there. Just put your link in and it'll do the work for you. It takes a little bit to populate, but once it does, it is amazing. So back here, let's do another one. Goblin.tools is a really cool tool that the students can use on their Chromebooks. It basically is a to-do list generator. So if you have kids in your class that are like paralyzed by, I have no idea where to start, I don't know what to do, you can use this to create a to-do list for them. So I already put one in here. It said, write a research paper on the differences between John Locke and Thomas Hobbes. You type that in here. So let's do write a research paper on the benefits of AI. You can choose the spiciness level, which I think is hilarious. But if you're like, hey, I don't need a ton of steps, I just need help getting started, you can turn it down so it'll be kind of spicy. Or you can be like, I want it extra spicy all the way over here. It just determines how many steps it gives you. So you hit the plus button, and then it'll add it to your list down here. So I already have this one that I've shrunk, and it has all these options. But you're like, oh, I need another to-do list. Here's this research paper on the benefits of AI. You hit the magic wand, and it's going to think about it, and then it's going to spit out a list of things for your students to do. And again, they can do this on their own Chromebook. So if you're like, hey, I want you to make a to-do list, this is a great tool to help them get started and see what options they have, where they should start, where they should be doing research. And so this is a pretty broken down, present the thesis statement to guide the paper, write body paragraphs, create an outline, all that kind of stuff. So if any point in here you're like, use a consistent citation style such as APA or MLA, I have no idea how to do that. You can come over here on each line and you can hit the magic wand again, and it'll give you a to-do list for that specific item as well. So if they need even more breaking down, even more help, they get stuck, it gives you options. It also has Formulizer, helps you formalize your thoughts. It will, am I misreading the tone of this? It's kind of cool. It has like an ingredient generator. So if you have these ingredients in your fridge, you can cook these things. So there's lots of things to do, but the magic to do, breaking things down, I think is super helpful. And I already have kids in my class using it. And once you're done, you can just check it off. Oh, I've already done that. And then you can delete them out of your to-do list when you're done. It'll estimate the time it'll take. You can add a subtask, all those sorts of things. All right, and then one more awesome resource you can use is Question Well. And this is a great resource because it generates questions so you don't have to write your own. I'm already logged in here. This is what the home page looks like. You always have to add your topic. So we already did a Hobbes versus Locke, so I'll put one in here. If you have a text that you want it to work off of, you can put it in there. And you don't have to put anything in here. It'll generate just off of this topic. So you can put 10th grade if you want. Let's do discussion. And you want your language, so you can do whatever language you want. And then you can add outcomes. There's upgraded options, but I already have enough in here to work with this. You could put text in here if you want. It'll be more specific. And then you just click generate set. And it'll take a few minutes, but it will come up with a list of multiple choice questions that you can easily import into multiple places like Schoology or quizzes or Kahoot or Blooket, anything that you use frequently, you can take questions off of this website and drop it right into a platform that you use fairly often. It does take a little while to generate questions, but it will hopefully really quickly here spit some stuff out, and I can show you what that will look like. Actually, I think I have this open on another. Yes, I do. All right, so I also have this open over here. You can go to your saved sets. So your home page looks like this. You can pop over here to saved sets. So I've clearly used this a few times. Middle Ages, Triangle Trade. I was writing some content. So you can click on this one, and it has all these multiple choice questions. You can also check your answer with Google search. So if you're like, hey, I don't think that's the right answer, although if you have a pretty broad topic, you might get multiple questions that are similar. So you're going to have to filter through those, but it is helpful. But it does give you a list over here of identify goods and ideas exchanged in the Columbian Exchange. It gave you 3 questions based off that. Identify the motivations between Christopher Columbus's voyage. 2 questions on that, and then you can hit export and you can take it straight to any of these options: Google Slides, Google Forms, Quizlet, Blooket, Quizzes, Kahoot, Schoology, etc. So it's super awesome if you don't want to write your own multiple choice questions, if you want to do a quick assessment. I'm a huge fan. It's worked really well for me. Oh, here we go. So it populated. So it took about 2 or 3 minutes. Here's our Hobbes and Locke. It gave us 19 questions. You can select them all up here, or you can just come down. I want to do these few, and it'll show you which questions you have selected over here. So I have one of two, one of two, one of two right here. So that's how to use Question Well. And I think that's the last thing I have for you. I added another slide with another open-ended question through the Nearpod. So if you, again, circling back to Nearpod, this is just something you can add at the end of your slideshow. Like, what's one thing you learned today, and have kids type in there. If you use this as a self-paced option, it will show you the kids' answers. It's easy to grade. And you can do that straight from Nearpod in the analytics. So I can show you here. Oh, I'm not logged in. I don't want to save my changes. So if you pop over here, oh, here it goes. So you can go straight back to Nearpod. Yes, I want to resume this later. And of course it takes me right here. It'll save your changes and then saves it slide by slide. Anytime you make a change in Google Slides, you're going to want to save your changes. That way it'll update here so you can do a live lesson. So if you want to assign it, super simple. You can do a student pace. You click on that, give them the code, copy the link, put that straight into Schoology. They type the code in, they go to Nearpod, and then they can type in there. You can go here. You can go to reports, and you can see I've used this 3 times with live participation. I had 22 students in here, so I can see who all logged in, what percentage of the work they did, and you can give them a grade based off of that. All right, I hope this is helpful. Again, if you have any comments or questions or want some feedback on how some of this stuff works or just some help, please feel free to email me. My email address is right here. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day and time exploring lots of new cool tools. Thank you so much.